Well, hello and welcome everybody to the new Health Conversation podcast. We always like to tell the censors that this is only original research material. We do not make anything up. Everything is quoted from medical studies that are proven. They're in the public domain. Everybody can read them. Everything we share with people is completely safe. It's been vetted by the top medical doctors and researchers in the entire world. We've also written 4 best-selling books, and so any other references that we have, or for example, we have a free medical website people can go to. There's nothing to buy there, nothing for sale. People get to go and see the medical proof for free. So I just want all of you censors out there to know that we stay within community guidelines, all right? So Bryce, Susie, HMV, Carla joined. First question I want to ask anybody who's coming on for the first time, is that the same woman? Do you think it's the same woman? Read the headline, read the information, and please put it in the chat. Let me know, Jan and Sebastian. Let me know if you think that that is the same woman or not, or you think we're faking it, or we made things up, etc. But that's for you to decide. What do you think about all that? Because obviously, if that's real, it's pretty much unbelievable that that is even possible. Because according to that, she lost 60 pounds in 3 months safely. What's her secret? 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies of this new breakthrough that is going to make every single diet out there obsolete. Hopefully after this podcast today, you will not want to ever count a calorie again. It's ridiculous, it's lunacy, it doesn't work, etc. So again, I'd love anybody to put in the comments, does anybody believe that that's Luis or Duan? I can't pronounce it, sorry, lady, user 4041, Jeanette. Does anybody want to put in the chat, do you think it's the same woman? Let's just hold on that for a moment. Now, I promise you what I am going to do is I'm going to explain to you exactly what she did. This is not a bunch of recipes. This is not calorie counting. This is not 10,000 steps. This isn't anything like that. This is completely revolutionary. It took 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people from ranked the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world. That's not me, by the way. Our job is to make you aware of what's available. You'll notice right above our head there in blue, it says the new Health Conversation. That's a 100% free medical website where you can go. We won't contact you. I'm not kidding. We're not going to contact you. But right above it, see free coaching. The coaching is free the entire time. Not just to get the weight off you, but to teach you how to keep it off for the rest of your life, because the researchers call this R2M, race to maintenance. Does that make sense to everybody? So again, I'm really excited. So Saka, Risa, Tenka, Blessing, Phalo, lots of likes. Great. Let's tap on the screen. Again, all of you, I know some of you just coming on. Is that the same woman? Is it the same woman? Nobody's answering. Really? I'm a nice person. I'm not gonna get mad whatever your answer is. Not that you care whether I get mad or not. I mean, this is virtual. This is live, everybody. This is not pre-recorded. This is not an infomercial. This is medical research. Finally, they proved that you can lose weight and keep it off completely different than anything any of you have ever done before, or anybody had ever done before. But look at the results. Oh, Cindy, thank you very much. She's saying yes, she thinks it's the same woman. Thank you, Cindy. That's wonderful. Who else would like to make a comment? I got, let's see, we got all kinds. Stevie and Maui, Carpi, BLK. We got Saka. We got Reese, Tenka, Blessing Info. Who else would like to support Cindy? Is she the only one that thinks it's the same woman? The rest of you don't think it's the same woman, and that's why you're not commenting in the comments? I don't know. It's okay. It's fun. Look, let's have some fun today on Memorial Day. At least it's Memorial Day here in the United States. It's actually May 26th. And I'm in Denver, Colorado. It is now 11:20, 1:20 on the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, and obviously much later in Europe. This podcast goes all over the world, and we're happy to be able to spread this incredible news. That's what it is. This is news, all right? Now, HMV1 also said, yes, you believe it's the same woman. Great, we're making progress here. And keep tapping on those screens. We're already at 400 likes and we just barely got going. So I'm going to show you some more before and afters, okay? Then I promise I'm going to come back and I'm going to explain exactly what they did. Please don't get impatient, because it can be worth it. This podcast could change the rest of your life, and I don't say that lightly because it certainly changed mine. It saved my, not the podcast, but this protocol, which was invented about 25 years ago, and I did 23 years ago. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks. I've kept it off for 23 years, okay? You're going to see it's so much more than losing weight, this whole protocol. So let's go to a second person. Now, this next person only had to lose 35 pounds, and she lost 21.2 pounds, 38.75 inches, days with absolutely no exercise allowed. Now, the researchers weren't against exercise, but they wanted to isolate it because otherwise you could have said, well, she lost weight because it was diet and exercise. No exercise. They even made him wear, she wore a Fitbit proving she wasn't exercising. But look at her hips. Look at her stomach. Look at how that's not sucking it in. That's the fat cells shrinking in her body. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. See, anybody telling you that you burn fat on a diet or exercise, it's just not true. You're born with a certain number of fat cells, you lose, and you keep them your whole life. Now, the fat cells can expand or they can contract, and that's what happens to us. That's why so many of you complain to us. It's not just how much weight that you weigh, but it's the amount of fat you have in your body. We'll discuss that in just a moment. Let me show you the next one. Now, this is pretty incredible. This is, in this case, 37 days, 35 pounds. But look at her whole body from her shoulders to her stomach to her legs. Now, you can think it's Photoshop. How do you Photoshop your legs? I mean, I guess you could Photoshop, but I'm saying she's not holding it in, right? So who else came on? Midge, Enrique, the Stevo, Blackie, Dev. I know you're all waiting for me to explain to you how in the world to do it. It's not a diet, everybody. It's not about counting calories. It's not about exercise. It's not about 10,000 steps. I promise we'll get to it in a minute, but I want to show you the, what they, now everything I'm showing you is backed by peer-reviewed human medical studies. No other diet has 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies on the planet. You're all following, influencers, nice people. They're giving you opinions. They don't have any facts. If what they were telling you was that great, they'd want to have a peer-reviewed human trial study. Why? Because there's nothing higher in medical investigation than peer-reviewed human trial studies, okay? So let's go to the next one now. This is, look at Curtis, everybody, an older gentleman, 40 pounds and 52 inches in 30 days. Look at his stomach. That's not the best part of his story. Look at his lab work, everyone. His A1C went from 8.4 to 6.4. His triglycerides from 242 to 124. That's in 30 days. What I want to point out to all of you is, yes, the weight loss is exciting. You're all going to get excited, but that really is probably number 4 or 5 on the list of reasons why you'd want to potentially do this and why you want to abandon calorie counting immediately, because it doesn't work long term. We'll show you the evidence to prove it. Nothing that we share with you on the New Health Conversation is our opinion. Nothing we share on the New Health is a claim. We only show you from medical proof. So let's just focus in for a moment on Kristen. How did she do this? Well, first, let's talk about how did it come about. The researchers who created this have done 40 years of research, 100 studies, thousands of people, and they figured out here's why diets can't possibly work. Diets have nothing to do with counting calories. It's the most ludicrous thing on the planet. The human body has no idea what a calorie is. To prove it to you, I'd love for someone, anybody, give me the definition of a calorie as we continue, okay? You're all counting calories. Why? Most people, including myself, 23 years ago, I didn't know what a calorie was either. So I'd love for someone to, see if we can get the scientific definition of a calorie. So the researchers, after all that time, said, here's the fatal flaw of diets. Our body runs on a minimum amount, not calories. Our body runs on a minimum amount of what? Nutrition. What you do on a diet, think about it, you reduce the amount of food you're consuming. By definition, you're reducing the amount of nutrition. When your brain figures out there's not enough nutrition to run all the organs, including the brain, heart, kidney, liver, etc., it freaks out, goes in starvation mode, because you are starving yourself nutritionally on all these diets. Because now you've lowered the amount of food, you've lowered the amount of nutrition, even if you're doing organic, even if you're doing whole food. 200 studies prove organic is about 10 to 15% better nutritionally than regular food, but that's it. And the reason to do organic, which is what I do, is it's less polluted, okay? So what the researchers said, we need a new approach after 40 years. Our focus has to be on one thing, nutrition. Now, this is not supplements, pills. These are food groups that these researchers put together. So 30% of what she consumed in a month was proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, and fruit. But instead of calories, they gave her serving sizes. Does everybody understand? So when it was protein, it was like 4 to 6 ounces, for example, just an example. So they were concentrating only on nutrition, and they picked the foods, a long list of proteins, fats, carbs, fruits, etc., okay, that were high in nutrition, right, but small in quantity. Then what they did, they found other researchers. See, these researchers don't have a company. There's no product involved here. Please don't put that in the comment. What's the product? There is no product. It's food, okay? The other 70% of the food that these people consumed in the study, including her, came from these other researchers that had gone around the world for the last 20 years and found foods with huge amounts of nutrition and small amounts of food quantity-wise. They went to places like Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand, and these foods represented huge amounts of nutrition. So they had 30% of the food she consumed from the grocery store, 70% from these foods around the world. Then all of the people, they did 5 days a week. They had 4 meals a day, starting with the world's most perfect meals for breakfast, lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic or world's most perfect meals, according to the researchers. That's called protein pacing. 2 days a week, they did something never done before, called intermittent, wait till I tell you the name, intermittent nutritional fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted eating, nothing to do with fasting. The reason I said fasting is because it represented very low amounts by quantity of food, but from these sources from around the world. But this time, for 48 hours, they let her eat 8 times a day. You heard me. She was eating about every hour and a half. And look at the results. Now, the other thing that I should tell, fascinating concept of lower food quantity. Yeah. Oh, Chris is backing me up. That's a holistic nutrition person. They're backing up what I'm saying. Fascinating concept. I didn't invent it, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm not taking credit for it. Our job here at the New Health Conversation is to make you aware of what's available. Now, it is true. We've written 4 best-selling books, some of the top medical doctors in the world. None of those books are for sale on that website, for example. There's nothing to buy on. Oh, I'll put it in the bottom for all of you, the website. Here's the website that's go to. It's free. The New Health Conversation. I'm putting it in the chat for everybody to see. And then I'm going to go back to the beginning and I'm going to show you also. Okay, so that's the daughter of a friend of mine. Yes, she really did lose 60 pounds in 3 months. It really is the same woman. Everybody, the ones that commented all said, okay, it's the same woman. But look at her arms. Look at her face. Look at her body. That's 3 months with no exercise. And by the way, that picture's 8 or 9 years old. She's kept the weight off now for 8 or 9 years. There's only one reason, well, there's many reasons to do it. One of the biggest reasons is maintenance. You're all going on these diets, and all the medical proof says 2/3 of you are going to weigh more than you did when you started. Let's start right with Medicare, for crying out loud. Listen to this big study they just released. Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. Diets are not the answer. That's the title of the study, for crying out loud. Listen to what they said. Medicare. Our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calorie-restricted, calories-in, calories-out diets to assess whether these diets were an effective treatment for obesity. The researchers found that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any of these diets. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. What are you doing, everybody? And Medicare's saying diets don't work because they're all based on what? Counting calories. And who can't count calories? The body. The body has no idea what a calorie is. Let me read to you the scientific data why calorie counting can't work. It's not my opinion. This is from the medical people. Listen to this. The biggest failing of the calories in, calories out formula is it ignores that the body adjusts its control system when calorie intake is reduced. So while the formula can support people achieving weight loss initially, the reduction in energy intake ensures the lost weight will be regained and more. What are you doing, everybody? You doing paleo? You doing keto? You doing time restricted eating? You do Jenny Craig Weight Watchers? They're all just lowering the amount of food you're consuming. They call it calories, but you're eating less food, but you're getting less nutrition. Why is this such a strange concept? I'm not saying to any of you, don't take. I'm always talking in generalities, right? But we got a major holistic lifestyle guide on there. He's saying it's a fascinating concept to lower food quantity but increase nutritional density. Well, that's what they did. So Flu from your post, great. We got lots of people coming on. M joined, Mary Lou joined, Jennifer joined. Wow, Fleur, Imnot, Cosplay, Kitty, G-Man, wow, fantastic. And we're already at 1,700 likes, and I've only been going 14 minutes. Congratulations to all of you. That's like 100 likes per minute. I'm loving this. But again, we're here to serve you. That website you see above our head, the New Health Conversation, if you go there, we're not going to contact you. What? No, we don't do that. We don't need to. We let the medical proof speak for itself. And right above, you see, it's above the blue where it says the New Health Conversation, says free coaching to ensure your success. It's not a gimmick. We coach you for free. Not only the initial consultation, but all the way through, including showing you how to maintain maintenance. We have kids as young as 2 doing this. We have a lady 90. We have an 80-year-old who lost 91 pounds in about 8 or 9 months. She couldn't climb a flight of stairs 8 or 9 months ago. Now she's playing pickleball 3 times a week, swimming 3 times a week, walking 4 to 5 miles a day. And she's maintained it. She lost her weight and kept it off now, I think it's for a couple of years. I mean, this is crazy good. It's for all of you. And the sad part is most of you won't even take advantage of going to the website and seeing the medical proof for free, and we won't even contact you. Why wouldn't you do that? I don't know. On all my podcasts, I always ask that question, and nobody seems to want to answer it or has actually thought about it. I'm still waiting for someone to tell me what is. Oh, there you go. The body doesn't know the difference between a famine or a diet. Dr. John Fothergill. So again, the point being here, everybody, is that this is the breakthrough. This is not speculation. This is not some opinion. I don't give you opinions. The New Health Conversation, nothing we give you is opinions. We're not making any claims. We're showing you the medical proof. Aren't you all interested in that? We're at 2,200 likes. Let's get some more taps. Wonderful, everybody. We're having just such a great time here today. So any of the other people on here, Marion, hello. Jennifer, hello. I'm not sure what that designation is, but the last person, I'm saying hello to you too. Who would like to ask me a question? We've already established it is the same woman. It's not fake. And before you say, oh my God, it's unhealthy to lose that much weight that fast on a diet. Well, first of all, on a diet, that would never happen. And secondly, they proved that these, like her, she lost no water weight and gained 6 to 9% lean muscle despite no exercise. They didn't allow her or anybody else to exercise. Look at Kristen, 21.2 pounds, 38 inches in a month. She only had 35 pounds to lose. Look at her hips. Look at her stomach. Look what happened. Oh, I was going to explain that to everybody. Why is that possible? So Beatrix, Lucy Onyx, Rose. Okay, so the most important thing now, of course, is all of you saying, how did they do it? How did they do it? Is this real? Get to the point. Look, you want to know how they did this, or you want to count calories and lose a pound a week and lose weight in the most unhealthy way on the planet? This is not a diet. That's the first thing you all need to know. This has nothing to do with counting calories. And the researchers who invented this or discovered it, whatever word you want to use, they took them 40 years, 100 studies, thousands of people to prove all diets, everybody lost weight initially. But on every diet they analyzed, almost 100% of the time, 2/3 of people gained back more weight than they lost. So they kind of got tired of failing over and over and over and over again. Because people would lose weight and then gain it all back, or 2/3 actually weighed more than when they started, okay? Oh, Lynn, thank you very much. That's wonderful of you. And Lynn, when you go to that website, I'll put it in the context for you again. The New Health. I mean, in the comments. I said context. I didn't mean to say that. It's been a long day already. I was here at 5:30 this morning doing lives. So Lynn, when you go there, just to be clear, we're not going to contact you. The only way we'll contact you, if you like what you see, scroll down and you can get a free coach. It's totally free the whole time. No gimmicks, no tricks, no arm twisting. This is real pure science, okay? You owe it to yourself to go there and take a look. Well, it helps you. Here's what I would say, Lynn. It helps you initiate a lifestyle change. Because let me ask you this, Lynn. I don't know if you don't mind putting it in the thing. How much weight would you like to lose? Because then I'll tell you why this is so impactful for people like her, for example, right? I mean, she lost 21 pounds, 38 inches in just a month. But it's even better than that, actually. So if you don't mind, type in there, what would you like to, how much are you looking to lose, right? But yes, it is a lifestyle. This is a new lifestyle. I've been doing it for 23 years. I lost 40 pounds in 7 weeks, Lynn. 23 years ago, I've kept it off for 23 years. Does that sound pretty cool? I hope it does. But look at everybody, including Lynn. Look at this. How about that in 37 days? That's 35 pounds in 37 days with no exercise. Look at her shoulders, her stomach, and her legs. She literally shrank in front of your eyes, right? So, perfect. Been on GOP for you, lost 55, stopped you, and gained 10 pounds back. Yeah, exactly, Lynn. So let's just say that you want to lose. I don't know what you still want to lose, but let's say 20 pounds. Okay, I don't know. Maybe that's it. Lynn, how excited would you be? Oh, 25. See, I was pretty close. Okay, Lynn, how excited would you be if in the first 4 days you lose 6 to 8 pounds? Easily in the first month, you're going to lose 25 pounds. Well, you saw, I just showed you what she did. Now she needed to lose 35 pounds, but if you lost 15 pounds in a month, how ecstatic would you be, Lynn? And it's totally safe and there's no side effects. No side effects. It's food. This is food. Isn't that cool? Isn't that great? Yeah, exactly. And we have wonderful coaches. We do. They've all done it. Look, we got coached. I mean, the people that have joined me in the New Health Conversation, they volunteer their time because maybe their sister wanted to do it, their brother wanted to do it, or their cousin wanted to do it. We don't let anybody do it without a coach. And the coaching's free. And the coaches don't sell you anything. That's why it's so great. This is like the greatest job in the world. It's not even a job. So Lynn, I'm excited for you. And when you go there, Lynn, in particular, there's a big podcast. It says 60 minutes that'll change your life with the #1 nutrition research physiologist in the entire world. Watch that. It'll change your life. And he even talks about the GLP-1s at the end of it. You might have a little bit different opinion on what they're really seeing in the real research with these GLP-1s now. And I'm not even against them. They're helping diabetics. They're helping people that are morbidly obese. They helped you to a certain extent, but there's the problem. You're going to gain all the weight back unless you do something different. It's not me making it up. That's just a fact. That's just a fact, okay? Now, look at this for Lynn and everybody else. How about 40 pounds and 52 inches in 30 days? 30 days. But look at his blood work. That's what matters. Look at his A1C. Before was 8.4, after 6.4. Triglycerides 242 to 124. That's in 30 days. 30 days, not 30 weeks. This is the main reason to do this, is to get as healthy as possible. And even if you're healthy, bring it to the next level. This is not, you know what this really is? Now I'm going to explain it to all of you. It's not a diet. It's a detox. I discovered this medical syndrome, just so you all know, I'm not bragging, it's just fact. This is a registered trademark U.S. Patent Office. TDOS. T for toxicity, D for nutritional deficiency, O for being overweight, S is for stress. I have it, you have it, every person in the world. What does it mean in layman's terms? It means that we're drinking, we're breathing, we're eating chemicals. And as they enter the body first presents them to the liver, the biggest filter in the body. Our liver is so overwhelmed now, they estimate 40% of you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. That's not from drinking alcohol. That's from the toxins in the liver, and the liver is enrobing the toxins in fat cells, and there shouldn't be any fat cells in the liver at all. Well, in these studies, they did blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, proving that this is removing the chemicals from those fat cells. Because see, look at his stomach on day 1. You know why? Because what the body does when the liver can't handle this stuff anymore, it takes the chemical and stuffs it in the visceral fat. That's what you see in his picture there on day 1. And then day 30, they prove this is removing herbicides and pesticides and Scotchgard and Teflon. It's assisting the body in doing that, to be technically correct. But look at that, everyone. I mean, now you're going to understand how Julie, whoops, sorry about that, folks. Let me get Julie. There we go. Look at that. That's 35 pounds in 37 days. Her entire body shrank. You can see it. You can see it right there, can't you? From her neck or stomach or legs, shrank. Why? Because as the body is able to remove the chemicals from your fat cells, the fat cells shrink in its place. We know they measured it. With no exercise, she gained 6 to 9% lean muscle mass with no exercise allowed. I know it sounds too good to be true, but am I making sense? Has everybody just bought that? Oh, wow. Lynn, thank you. You understand, Lynn, there's no book. If you went to the website, there's no books to buy, but I appreciate it. That's great. I'm just curious, did you buy TDOS? Is that what a lot of people typically buy TDOS? So just let me know. I'm just curious, but I'm very excited for you. Yeah, Lynn, you're in for amazing. Amazon, TDOS, beautiful. Great. Great. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. That's wonderful. Um, And Lynn, hopefully you're getting the feel here that this is not an infomercial. This is real science, backed by real scientific research. Not to brag, but I will a little bit. So Lynn, I've spent 23 years of my life as a nutritional researcher. That's one of four of the best-selling books I wrote with some of the top medical doctors in the world. And I've lectured in hospitals and medical schools and universities and towns. They even flew me to China. And I'm not telling that to impress anybody. I just want you to understand that I'm not just some person up here spouting off stuff. Because here's the cool thing. None of what I talk about is my research. I'm the researcher of the researchers. That's our job. That's what the new health conversation is all about, is to bring voice to you that don't know that I mean, you can obviously learn it if you want. If you want to spend 23 years of your life doing what I did as a passion and something I love to help people. You think she's excited about that in 37 days? You think she wants to go back to where she was when she started? And then you look at Kristen. I mean, look at her hips, everybody. Look at that whole area just shrank. Isn't that amazing? No. No diet, Chris. And he's asking a question. Do diets have any medical proof to address toxicity? Any proof they remove these? There's not one shred of evidence that any diet has removed a gram of toxin from the body. But this is not a diet. This, first and foremost, is a detox. With one of the great side effects is massive weight loss that's safe without the loss of lean muscle mass. How cool is that, everybody? So, who else would like to ask me a question? So, Enid, Celtic Tack, I think that's how you pronounce it. Celtic Tack. And Pamela Bull. And so, who else would like to ask me a question? We're at 2,600 likes, everybody. Can we get some more taps on that screen to get well past 2,600? Do you all find, or some of you can comment, is this valuable information to the point that you like it, that you want to keep to promote us, to bring this message to the rest of the world? But, this is what I think. This is so great. This is the daughter of a friend of mine, and she lost that in 3 months. That was like 8, 9 years. She's kept the weight off for 8 or 9 years. I have had people that said they don't believe it's the same woman. Seriously. Because really, but it's her. I mean, I know her. But look at her face. Look at her arms. Look at her midsection. You think that happens on diets, and this was with no exercise at all? Oh, Lynn, you have a blessed day. That's so nice of you. Have a great rest. If you're in the United States, have a great rest of your Memorial Day, and really enjoy the website. And if you want, sign up for free coaching if that's what you want to do, because we sure aren't going to twist your arm. But it sounds like this is right up your alley in terms of what you're looking for a solution other than the GLP-1s, okay? So who else would like, well, we're at 3,000 likes now, and we're keeping going. God is good, John, USA. Yes, I will sign up. Okay, terrific, terrific. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Who else would like to ask me a question? Well, for the new people coming on, is that the same woman? Is it? Who would like to make a comment? Do you think it's the same woman, or do you think we photoshopped it, or we're lying, or we did AI, etc.? We didn't. Yeah, absolutely the same woman. Great. I'm just happy for all of you. We worked very, very hard to assemble this research over 23 years, working with some of the top medical doctors, geneticists, molecular biologists, nutraceutical chemists, and nutraceutical researchers in the entire world. And they helped us, they support us at the New Health Conversation, because they were all saying, we need the New Health Conversation, because the old one certainly isn't working. I mean, I read earlier, Johns Hopkins Medical School, everyone. Study predicts obesity apocalypse by 2030. 86% of Americans are going to be overweight or obese. In 4.5 years, 86% of you are going to be overweight or obese. Does that sound to you like diets are working? I'd love for anybody to put in the chats, tell me a diet you think works. What would it be? Any of you? Long term, let me clarify, long term. We're never arguing that you can't lose weight short term in any of these diets. But when we've got, here's Harvard Medical School, everybody. Harvard Medical School. Stop counting calories. This is Harvard, direct quote. Most people have been taught that losing weight is a matter of simple math. Cut calories 3,500, you lose a pound. But as it turns out, experts are learning that the decades-old strategy is totally misguided. Really? Harvard, the idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, Stanford said. It's time to concentrate on what's in our food, not how much food we're consuming. That's exactly what these researchers did who invented this protocol, and they don't have anything to do with Harvard. They don't know anybody at Harvard. They have nothing to do with Harvard. But they proved it. There's your proof in front of you. 60 pounds in 3 months with no exercise. What do you think about that, everybody? Huh? You think this is real? It is. That is the same woman. It's not a fake deal. You've got to understand that the evidence now is overwhelming that calories in, calories out, dead, finished, bury it. It doesn't work. Despite everybody come on here and tell me, you don't know what you're talking about. It's about calories in, calories out, energy deficit. No, it's not. That's just so silly. Your body doesn't even, I've been on for I don't know how long already, and I asked in the very beginning, I said, please someone tell me, give me the scientific definition of a calorie. I've had 2 people get it right in the last year. Why are you all counting calories? I mean, I'd love for someone to tell me, to put a comment. Hello, Laura. Hello, Dawn, Play 0111, or 0111. Hello, everybody. Who would like to ask me a question? Do you think that's real? Would you like to know how she did that? Anybody, put it in the chat. I'm happy to answer. There's nothing to hide. I didn't invent it. It's on my protocol. But it was invented by the top weight loss nutrition physiologists in the world who over 40 years did 100 studies, thousands of people, thousands. What do you all think about that? Is that amazing? Oh, we're at 3,300 likes. Come on, let's get some more taps on that screen and get those likes up there. Who else would like to ask me a question? I don't bite. I'm a nice person. I'm willing to have an open discussion as long as there's no name calling. When people want to do that, then I just have to block them. That doesn't serve any purpose. And if you do come on and you want to make a point, be very respectful. But unless you have peer-reviewed human trial studies, it's pointless. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. That's the highest you can go in medical investigation. None of these diets have 10 peer-reviewed. They're lucky. If there's a study on any of them, it's pitiful. Now, lest you think she did well, wait till you see this gentleman here. 350 pounds. Okay, this is what he weighed when he started. This is 50 days, right? That's what, 7 weeks. Wait till you see this. It's not Photoshopped, and it's totally safe. Are you ready, everybody? 75.6 pounds in 50 days, 64.75 inches, blood pressure 149/81, dropped to 103/64. Look at his triglycerides from 278, they dropped to 115. That's in 50 days, 7 weeks. Look at his stomach. He still has one, but my gosh, he lost 75 pounds in 50 days. You think any diet's doing this? Really? Do you? I mean, I know people think we're making this stuff up. We don't have to make up anything because we have the peer-reviewed human trial studies that are on the website right there, the New Health Conversation. You can go and see it for free. There's nothing to buy there. There's no buy buttons, and we won't contact you. Why should we have to contact you? If we have the medical proof, that's it. That's good enough. It's way better than good enough because no other influencers on all of social media has one shred of medical evidence, and yet you're all following. 99.9% of you following it. Oh, HMV1, how can I go to the website? Here it is. All you do is, I'm going to type it for you. Okay, I just typed it in the very comments at the bottom under new, hello, new, and Michelle White. Okay, do you see it there, HMV1? The New Health make sure I spelled it right. I did. No spaces, go there. It's free. But here's the thing. HMV1. We're not going to contact you. We don't do that. Why would we need to? There's the medical proof. You either believe it or you don't. If you do, then you can sign up for a free coach. But you get to see all the information. You don't have to get a coach to see the medical proof. What the coach is there for is to say, okay, based on your situation, How can they adapt it for it? We got kids as young as 2 years old. My own grandson started at 14 months on part of this program. We have a lady 91 years old. We have an 80-year-old, her sister, younger sister, lost 91 pounds in about 8 or 9 months. Couldn't walk up a flight of stairs, 8 or 9 months ago. Now she's playing pickleball 3 times a week. She's swimming 3 times a week. She's walking 4 or 5 miles a day. It's not a diet. The weight loss is just this great, fantastic side benefit. Does that make sense to all of you? So HMV1, you understand that's the website to go to. And if you like what you see, scroll down, you get all of you get, it's free coaching. It's not a gimmick. We coach you for free. We got coached. So who else would like to ask me a question? So HMV1, did you hear my explanation of what they did in order to create this? These are never seen before results. It's not just the number on the scale, but like when I show you the medical proof, look at his A1, 40 pounds in a month. How's that? And 52.5 inches from his neck to his ankles. But look at the lab work. All of you read that. A1C 8.4 to 6.4 in a month. And triglycerides 242 to 124 in 30 days. Are you kidding me? Oh, so yes, HMV1, you did hear me explain it. Wonderful. But again, HMV1, please understand. We're not going to contact you. I'm telling you, we don't do that. Because when you have peer-reviewed human trial studies, HMV1, there's nothing higher in medical investigation. So we're saying we're providing all of you with this website. You can see it above our head, the New Health Conversation. So you get to go. You're not harassed. You're not contacted. We're not there because we're not trying to sell you. We're educating you like someone educated us. But look at that result. Hello, come on. What do you think, everybody? For the new people coming on, is it the same woman? Is it? We're stuck at 3,300 likes. Come on, everybody. Let's tap on that screen a little. Let's get that number moving up, moving higher, moving on up. I mean, when you look at some of these, 21.2 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days. So that's 5 pounds a week. Well, if you analyze, that's what she did. She lost 5 pounds a week for 3 months, right? She lost 60 pounds in 3 months. That's 20 pounds a month. That's 5 pounds, assuming it's a 4-week month, which I know there's a couple that are 4.2, but just bear with me, right? How amazing is that, everybody? And then we have Julie. That's 37 days, 35 pounds. But look at the change from her shoulders to her waist area to her legs. Look at that, everybody. Unless you think it's fake, which it's not, what do you think about that, everybody? What do you think about that body conformation change? So Kampori Renee, see that. Jerica, Cynthia, me join. Who, question mark, me join. Hello. Who would like to, we're stuck at 3,300 likes, really? Can some of you tap on the screen so we stopped the log jam? We've slowed down to a crawl here for some reason. Who else would like to ask me a question? It's free to ask me a question. The website's free to go to. Everybody, is this not crazy? 40 pounds, 52.5 inches, and he's an older guy. Look at his stomach, how much it went down. You can think he's sucking it in. You can't suck it in that much. Forget it. This is real, everybody. This is your chance to really break the grip of weight, obesity, whatever maybe you don't have enough energy, maybe it's stress, because this is a health protocol. It's really a detox. That's really what it is. And the side benefit is the weight loss and everything else. So Kim Heckman, hello. Lee, hello. So again, who would like to ask me a question? And my only rule is if you want to ask me a question, be civil. There's no reason to call me names. Even if you don't like me, that's okay too. Because I'm only going to present you with medical proof. And if you come on and you have an opinion and you don't have a peer-reviewed human trial study behind it, it's kind of a pointless conversation. Because the only thing that matters in the medical world are peer-reviewed human trial studies, not a scientific paper, not anecdotes. I know, because for 22 years, I wrote 4 best-selling books for some of the top medical doctors in the world. But in the medical world, without peer-reviewed human trial studies, you know how much impact what we were doing had? Zero. zero impact. Until about 14 months ago when these 10 peer-reviewed human trial studies came out proving this is safe, number one, but all the results we're talking about. Like that's real. His A1C really did go from 8.4 to 6.4. Triglycerides 242 to 124. See, all of you would concentrate immediately right on the number. Oh my God, 40 pounds in a month, 52.5 inches. Yeah, well, that's like the throw-in. That's like the booby prize almost. This is about maximizing your quality of life potential for all of you. So let's see who else came in. Juanita and user 436. So we have lots of new people on here now. Can we get some more taps on that screen? We're at 3,300 likes. Can't we get more? Are you all enjoying the content? Are you learning something? Do you have new hope that you didn't have before? This is the daughter of a friend of mine. Now you could think it's a different woman. It's the same woman. But how about 60 pounds in 3 months with no exercise allowed? I know that makes you skeptical, but it's true. I know her. Now, for some of you out there that maybe think this is a diet, let me show you what happens if you do exercise and you're an athlete. This is exactly 11 days, everybody. On day one, really pretty darn good shape. But so when it says day 5, it's the morning of day 5. That's 4 days. Look at the change in the stomach area. And then when it says day 12, it's 11. It was 11 days, the morning of day 12. But look at that transformation, everybody. Now, you can think that's Photoshop, that's AI, it's fake. But in this case, I kind of know this person. That's my youngest son. Now, I don't quite look like that, but he's a bit younger than I am. But honestly, look at that, everybody. You think this is a diet? He didn't do this to lose weight. He did to detoxify his body, to shrink the visceral fat and increase his lean muscle. Now, he did exercise. None of the other people that we've showed you so far were even allowed to exercise. Look, when I show you Julie, that's with no exercise. Now, it's not that the researchers were against exercise. It's the fact that they didn't want exercise to be an outlier. They didn't want that to be an influence on what was happening, if that makes sense. So who else would like to ask me a question? The last person to say hi was user 436. But I see C. Don and Meech and Larry and Christina. You don't have to say hi. That's not a requirement. This is a free medical podcast. It's not an infomercial. If you go to the website, I'll show you the website to everybody. It's right above her name in blue, no spaces, the new health conversation. We won't contact you. But look for the new people coming on. How about 60 pounds in 3 months? 60, not 6. What do you think about that, everybody, the new people? Hello, Mark. Any of the new people coming on, make a comment on that. What do you think? Are you curious, or any of the new people coming on, would you like to know how she did it or not? It's fine. For the older people that are hanging older just in terms of being on the podcast longer, one of the things I want to share with everybody is everybody on this podcast has this medical syndrome. It's called TDOS. T for toxicity, D for deficiency, O for being overweight, S for stress. This is a registered trademark with the U.S. Patent Office. Yeah, I did discover it. That's not what's important. What's important is the first studies ever done on human beings were done in 2005 by Mount Sinai Medical School in New York. It was the first time they realized that we were storing chemicals in our bodies, right? Kayla and user 172. Now, what I want to explain to you next is, so from 2005, when they first discovered we were storing chemicals in our body, until 2024, in that 24-year period, 19 years, there's now 1,000 studies on the chemicals in your body. So let's take a look at what they're saying after 19 years of research. Now, none of this is my opinion. This is about the chemicals and why it's causing you to gain weight and become unhealthy and become sick. This is from the studies. The Endocrine Society, the largest organization of experts devoted to research on hormones, and the Clinical Practice of Endocrinology reports that the rise in the incidence in obesity matches the rise in the use and distribution of industrialized chemicals. They give these chemicals a name. They call them obesogens. They go on to say, simply put, obesogens are chemicals that disrupt the function of our hormonal system, leading to weight gain and many of the diseases that curse the American populace. They enter our bodies from a variety of sources, from natural compounds in soy, hormones fed to animals, plastics in food packaging, chemicals added to processed food, and pesticides sprayed into produce. They act in a variety of ways, mimicking human hormones such as estrogen. Are you listening, ladies, with menopause? Blocking the action of other hormones such as testosterone. Are you listening to men? And essentially reprogram us to gain weight. What diet are you on that you think is removing obesogens from your body? Because this is the first time in history they've ever actually proven that this protocol, first and foremost through blood, stool, urine, and fat analysis, is assisting the body removing chemicals. That's why she shrank. No, it's not up for debate. Had you ever heard, any of you ever heard of obesogens before right now? I'd love for you to put it in the chat. So we got some new people, Lou660, we have JJ's Kitchen, we have Claudia Yvette, we have Evetts, we have Jeff. What do you all think about that picture? Do you think it's the same woman? It is the daughter of a friend of mine who's a realtor. That's his daughter. So really, we didn't have to, that's real. And she's kept that weight off now. That picture's about 8 or 9 years old. She's been able to keep it off all that time. So who else would like to ask us a question? Now, in the meantime, even if you don't want to ask a question, you can see right above our head there in blue, the new health conversation. It's a free medical website to go to. We won't contact you. We're not going to call you. We're not going to do anything. And right above our head says free coaching to ensure your success. The coaching is 100% free. If you like what you see after watching the website, then you can get a coach for free that'll coach you, not just initially, all the way, and then teach you how to maintain it. The only way to do this is to, like with her, she's kept it off for 8 or 9 years. That's what is significant. That's why it's called R2M, Race to Maintenance. It's exactly what it's called. So Jeff joined and Lala's Land for me, or something. Oh, Lala's Land. I get it now. That's a cool handle. It took me a minute to figure out what it meant, right? Jody wrote, hello. So who would like to ask me a question? I'm a nice person. I'm not gonna harass you, or I'm just gonna explain to you why. See, diets are doomed to failure. The new people coming on. You don't believe me? Here's a big study out of Medicare. Okay? Why? Because the healthcare costs in this country are almost unsustainable. I'd say they're unsustainable right now. So Medicare did a big study on weight loss, because that's one of the primary factors driving so many diseases is being overweight, right? Medicare's search for effective obesity treatments. That's the title of the study. The subtitle was, diets are not the answer. That's Medicare saying that. They went on to say, our researchers reviewed studies of long-term outcomes of calories in, calories out restrictive diets to assess whether these diets had any are effective in the treatment for obesity. The researchers found that 2/3 of dieters regained more weight than they lost on any of these diets. In summary, there's little support for the notion that diets lead to lasting weight loss or health benefits. What are you all doing? Seriously, what are you all doing? I mean, they're saying that diets are not the answer, but you're all on diets, or you wouldn't even be on this podcast. Seriously, what are you doing? Why do you think your diet you're on, you're going to escape? What they're saying, 2/3 of everybody gains more weight than they lost. It's like you'd be way better off not to go on a diet in the first place. So, we got lots of new people here. So we got Claudia, we have Yvette. Oh, no, I guess I did say hello to some of you before. And we're stuck at 3,300 likes. I'd appreciate it if we can get taps on the phone to get those likes way up there. This is life-changing information. I mean, would anybody have been happy with this? 5 pounds, 21 pounds, 38 inches in 30 days, and she had about 35 pounds to lose. She lost, if you do the math, about almost 70% of what she needed to lose in just 30 days. She did go on to lose 30, I think it was 35 pounds. I think it was like in 7 weeks or something. But look at that, everybody. You think it's Photoshopped? Or do you think that's real? I'd love for someone to comment. Do you think it's safe? Because it is, because it's backed by 10 peer-reviewed medical studies. See, all this is in the public domain. You can go look at it. But we make it easier for it because on the website, The studies are there, including these studies on this protocol, and then studies on the fact that diets are a miserable, miserable failure, because they are. I mean, study after study says that. I mean, here's another big study, the title, The Science Behind Why Diets Don't Work. In our review of more than 30 long-term studies, calories in, calories out, they show that going on a diet, calories in, calories out, actually causes weight gain. The more diets someone has tried, the more they weigh. Many of you have probably experienced that. So not only does dieting not work for long-term weight loss, but it's associated with increased risk of binge eating, eating disorders, and long-term weight gain. Wait a minute, you're going on a diet to gain weight? Am I getting through to any of you? Do you understand why? I know what most of you are going to do. You're so overburdened with information from people giving you advice without one shred of medical evidence behind it. Well, here's Harvard Medical School. What are they saying about counting calories? Title, Stop Counting Calories. They said that, yeah, this is Harvard Medical School. The idea of a calorie in, calorie out when it comes to weight loss is not only antiquated, it's just wrong, says Fatima Stanford, obesity specialist, Harvard Medical School. Drop the calories notion, says Stanford. It's time to concentrate on what's in the food, not how much food we're consuming. That's exactly what these researchers did. They have nothing to do with Harvard, nothing. But they proved it. There's your proof. Basically what this program was, they figured out the problem why diets don't work is that calorie counting is ridiculous. So human body has no idea what a calorie is. And all diets are depriving you. Well, let me back up. Our bodies don't run on calories. Our bodies don't know what a calorie is. It doesn't count calories. It doesn't give a damn about a calorie. All your body cares about is the minimum amount of nutrition that allows the brain to run all the organs at maximum capacity. When you go on a diet, think about it. What are you really doing? You're reducing the amount of food you're consuming. I don't care what the name of the diet is. But did they ever tell you that it's obvious, right? You don't have to be a scientist to figure out. If food contains nutrition, and that's the main reason to eat it, and you reduce the quantity of food you're consuming, what else are you reducing? Nutrition. And what these guys invented, and gals, men and women invented. There's no product. There's no product involved. There's no sup, no pill, nothing. No, they don't sell anything. They're scientists. But they figured out that the key was, could we give people less food by quantity? Got it? Quantity. But increase nutrition, quantity. It's exactly what they set out to do. For example, in her case and everybody's case, the researchers put together a grocery list. But instead of basing it on calories, they based it on serving sizes, proteins, fats, carbs, vegetables, and fruits. So 30% of what she consumed in a whole month came from her grocery store, organic or Whole Foods, whatever you want to call them. Only 30% of what she consumed in a month. The other 70% came from other researchers, not these people that invented this, and certainly not from us, where you buy directly from them, and those researchers have spent 20 years literally physically going around the world to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, and the Himalayas, South America, New Zealand, to find foods that had huge amounts of nutrition, but small quantities of food from a quantity standpoint. Got it? So now, in these countries, they went to Russia, Mongolia, Tibet, South America, New Zealand. Also, there were no herbicides or pesticides. So now she and everybody else, 30% of her food came from her grocery store, and the other 70% from these exotic foods around the world. Then they created 2 new ways of consuming food based on this new model, based on nutrition, not on quantity. So 5 days a week, they let her and everybody else have 4 meals a day. Unheard of. Unheard of. What do you mean you're having 4 meals? They started with these exotic foods around the world. That was breakfast, lunch from the grocery store, dinner from the grocery store, and a 4th meal after dinner from these exotic foods around the world. So 5 days a week, she was having 4 meals a day. 2 days a week, she did something called intermittent nutritional fasting. Not fasting, not water fasting, not time restricted. In those days, no food from the grocery store, only these exotic foods around the world. But this time, so 2 days a week, 48 hours a week, she did intermittent nutritional fasting. On those days, she got to eat those foods 8 times a day. What? Yeah, she was eating every hour and a half. Diabetics thrived on this, no insulin spike. People reported in a month their hunger went down 41%. Cravings in about 2 weeks were almost completely gone with people. They lowered blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, triglycerides, all in 30 days. And for the first time ever, pay attention to this, everyone. They measured inflammation, which is the underlying cause of every disease out there. It came down in a month 25% in 30 days. Unheard of, never seen before, never touched. This is crazy good news for all of us, for mankind. I mean, do you know we're spending 4 times what the industrialized world spends on healthcare, and we have about the 100th outcome? We now have a 10-year shorter lifespan than the Japanese because they've said we're the most overfed, got it, overfed and undernourished society in the world. Well, that's what these researchers prove. No, we need to change that narrative. If you're on a diet right now, counting calories, 2/3 are going to weigh more than what you did when you started. Not my opinion. When study after study after study says the exact same thing. But here's why calorie counting can't work, everybody. For the new people coming on, this is not my opinion. This is from medical science. The biggest failing of the calories in, calories out formula is it ignores that the body adjusts its control system when calorie intake is reduced. So while calories in, calories out formula can support people achieving weight loss initially, the reduction in energy intake ensures the lost weight will be regained and more. That's what you're doing. At a minimum, you'll be back to where you started. 2/3 are going to, so if you lost 20, you could end up gaining 25 pounds back. It's not an opinion. And these influencers, they're not telling you this. Who's telling you what we're telling you right now? It's not even our research. We're the researchers of the researchers to support all of you. To create this kind of a result, no damn diet on earth has ever produced anything like this. Wow, lots of new people came on here. Let's see. So Eskring, Farduza, Bo joined us, Nasser joined us. Martin, Beautiful, Sparkles, Jules also joined us. I mean, look at that, everybody. That's real. No diet's producing that. I'd love for someone to put in, I had somebody asked earlier, if you were going to lose 20 pounds, pick any trainer you want, pick any diet you want, pick any routine you want to do. How long would you give yourself? Beef, I've lost 125, maintained it for 2.5 years so far. Beautiful, brainy, blessed. That is absolutely, how did you do it? I'm just curious. Beautiful, brainy. Because you understand you're an enormous exception to the rule. I'm rooting for you. I hope it works long term. But I'm just curious how you actually did it. Ah, okay. Well, that's sort of kind of part of this, I guess you could say. But first and foremost, the major part about this is that it's a detox. And I am sad to tell you, no diet has ever been proven to remove chemicals from the body. So if you've done that, congratulate, pat yourself on the back. I'm so happy for you. And part of the reason is my own mother was morbidly obese my whole life. I never knew her thin. I never knew her healthy, and I loved her. And a little over 24 years ago, she called me up one day and said, you know, Peter, I have one really wish in my life. I said, Mom, what's that? She said, I would give anything if I could spend 24 hours thin. I said, Mom, that's great. Well, 6 months later, massive heart attack and stroke. My mom did about every diet. She never had the kind of success that Beautiful Brainy that you had. No. My God, all she wanted to do was spend one day thin. You know, she went through fat shaming. I'm sure you maybe suffered the same kind of nonsense. But anyway, I want to applaud you. That is just absolutely great. So who else would like to ask me a question? Because again, I guess I need to tell you. You said I'm just 125 pounds I lost. I want to just show you Mary here. Wait till you look at this. Whoops, where's Mary? Wonder why that's not converting over. There's that. Huh. Okay, well, that doesn't matter. Anyway, who else would like to ask a question? And again, the medical website is right above her head. The New Health Conversation, totally free to go there. Totally free. I understand how she felt. I tell myself that nothing tastes as good as being exactly Beautiful Brainy. But so you understand why I'm so passionate about this, right? You're one of very, very few people that has that kind of a result. So you're being commended for your commitment to yourself. I'm serious. You really are to be commended to yourself. But and I'm just curious. So when you lost 125 pounds, how long did it take you? I'm really curious about that. That's what I really kind of want to know. If you don't mind putting it in the chat. And Lou 660 joined us. Oh, okay. Well, can you imagine her 60 pounds in 3 months? Do you see why? Beautiful brain. How much would that have excited? I mean, you did it the really, really hard way. And that's exactly, let's see if I can pull this other picture up. Why is that not letting me do that? Huh. And you look at Curtis, 40 pounds in a month. That's a month. So beautiful, Brainy, can you see why people get so excited about this? Because the results are so dramatic and so fast and so sustainable. See that picture? That's 8 or 9 years ago. He's kept the weight up for 8 or 9 years, but look at his medical change, right? So that's, now I'm even more impressed. If you took 2 years to do 120, we have a young woman in Florida, listen to this beautiful Brainy. She's 5 feet tall. She has no gallbladder. She's 30 years old. She weighed 260 pounds, okay? So, beautiful Brainy, give me a wild guess in 6 months how much you think she lost. She weighed 260, 6 months, she has no gallbladder, she's 5 feet tall. So, tell me what you think. Beautiful Brainy, 75, I'm not sure what 75 means. Explain to me what 75 is, beautiful Brainy. We're having a great conversation, everybody, here. Someone that has done remarkable, really to be applauded by all of us. But 125 years took her every bit of 2 years. Oh, 75 pounds. Okay, you ready for this, beautiful Bronny? She lost 160 pounds in 6 months and has no loose skin and has no gallbladder. What would you say about that? Is that just off the charts? Is that just crazy? I mean, we got people left and right losing, just, crazy amounts. So let's see. I don't know why Mary's not transferring over. Oh, that's really strange. So, right, exactly. And I lost it slow. But the problem was, what you didn't know, beautiful Brainy, was that you lost lean muscle mass. There's no way you didn't, even though you think you did it slow. All the research, 25 to 40% of what everybody loses, doesn't matter what the name of the diet is lean muscle until now. See, I think that's what's so significant about her and some of the other people. Look at that, no loose skin. Or you look at Julie here. Now, Julie, that's 35 pounds in 37 days. So back in the day when you started, if you could have lost 35 pounds in 37 days and had that kind of well, of course, she weighed less than you did, obviously. But still, that's 35 pounds in 37 days. Isn't that pretty exciting? Beautiful Brainy. So are you going to have surgery? What are you going to do about the loose skin? Because that, unfortunately, that's one of the side effects of all these diets. And the more successful, especially when they have gastric bypass, or they have the sleeve, or they have any of these extreme things that they're doing, they're dealing with all that loose skin. As a matter of fact, beautiful Brainy, if you go to the website, which is free to go there, the New Health Conversation, you can actually scroll down and see before and afters of people lost 100 pounds, no loose skin at all. Well, you can see her at 60 pounds. That's pretty darn good, right? There's no. Oh, great. Good. I mean, not good, but it's unfortunate that you have to do that as a side benefit, where people like this that have gone on it, you can see obviously she doesn't need skin removal, tummy tuck, or any of that sort of thing. But in your case, absolutely do it. Okay. So who else? Kim Perot Renee. Hello. Say hi. So beautiful Brainy, we're pleased you joined us today, because you helped me make a point, taking nothing away from what you did, but my God, 2.5 years, 2 years to lose that weight when you could have lost it easily within like 8 or 10 months. Probably 6 months, just to give you an idea, okay? So who else would like to ask us a question about what she did? And you can all see right above her head in blue, the New Health Conversation. That's a free medical website where you all can go to see the medical proof, because we don't And we won't contact you if you go there. The only way we'll contact you is if you scroll down, you get a free coach. It's free, 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 free. So who else would like to ask me a question? We're at an hour and 4 minutes. It's now 2:30, well, 2:20 Eastern Standard Time in New York and the East Coast. I'm going to probably go maybe another 5 minutes. So if anybody wants to ask me a question, any question about this, I'm more than happy to answer it for you. See, the problem is, beautiful Brainy, like the fact you already have the loose skin. When she started, because she hadn't done, or any diets she'd done were minuscule amounts of weight loss. And so that really, really can make a difference for people, right? So again, any of you, who would like to ask me a question? Karmatic and Sunshine. Those are nice names. Just curious. So anybody coming on before we close this out, any of the new people coming on, do you think it's the same woman, or do you think it's Photoshop, or do you think it's AI? I'm just curious if anybody wants to make a comment. Nobody wants to make a comment? Well, apparently you're all enjoying, I hope, and if you're in the United States, I hope you have a happy Memorial Day and enjoy yourself. I'm going to certainly enjoy myself today. And let's see, so it's now 2:30 on the East Coast. I'll probably come on and do another live in about an hour, let's say around 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. Okay? All right, everybody, I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks again, beautiful Brainy. Good luck moving forward with your surgery. Okay? Bye, everybody.